I truly wonder why people do not want to listen. Listening is a great art because when you listen, you hear many things. When you listen, you learn. And in a short life that we have here on earth, listening is important. What more does he have to do? Tell me. What more does the Garden of Eden have to do? Because you keep denying him. You keep saying that he's not top three. He shows you. You keep denying him. He shows you. I kept saying to Eden, keep showing them. Keep showing them because he's proven to the guys. But for the haters and doubters, they'll always hate. But it becomes increasingly difficult when a guy continually comes in a short space of time, wins the game, and comes off. It's almost like in basketball, like the walk-off shots. Guys, the meal is here. So, for those of you who don't know and are new to this, press pause, get a meal, get a snack because we're going in. This is going to be a rather long video because we're going very detailed into this Liverpool-Chelsea game. So, before we get into Hazard, we must break down this game. So, as I said in my preview, this was about styles. Somewhat a clash of styles, but not in the classic sense of attack v defense. These are two attacking sides, but they attack within different philosophies, which is what makes it interesting. And this was about which has the better squad. Because I knew that they will both face. I don't like the word weekend. I like this they'll bring up alternative teams. So these competitions is always good to see which team has the strongest B side. Because a team that has a deep squad is a team that can go very far and do well on multiple fronts. I'm not saying that, you know what, Liverpool are strengthened. We know about Shaqiri, we know about the rage, we know about what Fabinho did in his Monaco days. So I was maybe leaning toward those dudes. And I was like, hey, Fabregas, okay, it was Barkley, okay. But let's be real. Especially in that first half, the player that surprised me the most was Fabregas, because, and also I was surprised by how well Chelsea were able to keep the ball, because Liverpool were really only restricted to counters. But we'll get to that because it's a lot deeper than Chelsea playing well and everything, because it's a lot more complex than that. But I was surprised by how well Chelsea were able to transition from defense to attack. And Fabregas really surprised me. I mean, because people talk about Jorginho, how important Jorginho is to the system. Fabregas was rekindling his old school Fabregas, because his range of passing, how he was able to find men, how he was able to always be 2 steps ahead, how he always knew which pass to make before he received the ball, and how quickly he was able just to move the ball around. I was like, no, this is that Cesc. You know, it's that old school Cesc that I know about. Because I'm sorry, what Fabregas was doing seemed a bit better than what Jorginho has done. Because look, Jorginho is an amazing player. And I think as of right now, you would say Jorginho is better than Fabregas. But if Fabregas somehow, through some magic, or through some white magic, rekindles the old school Fabregas, he's getting Jorginho out of there. And Moses was trash, essentially. He was better in bits, but essentially he was trash. I'll just be real there. He's lost his mojo, and it's just not really as effective as it once was before. But for me, before he who shall not be named but named after came onto the pitch, Kovacic was the best player. He was outstanding, absolutely outstanding. And I think a lot of what Chelsea did well came through Kovacic, because he always made ground whenever he had the ball, and the way how he intelligently moved through the ball was amazing. But as much as that was said, the difference between both of these sides was the attack and the potency of the attack. And I think for Liverpool, it was interesting to see Fabinho in, and now I see why Fabinho hasn't really been starting, because yeah, he's a bit slower than what is really happening within the speed, because French league is a lot more slower and a lot more tactical than the Premier League. And I think you could see that he was struggling a bit with how guys were harassing, pressing, because it was quite a very high tempo game. But I thought that Naby Keita looked good, and I think that how Naby Keita was linking in with the attack was good. And it just seems that Liverpool's attack just had more bites to it than Chelsea. Chelsea, the build-up play was outstanding. But when it got to Morata, Willian, and Moses, it just lacked any kind of bite. But whereas for Liverpool, when Mane or Sturridge found some opening, it just felt as if Liverpool had more bite to the attack. But I think you could see that they were definitely missing the how Firmino brings guys in. Because I think Mane was good, but I think it's almost as if Mane really benefits off Firmino being there, and there's a clear understanding. I think Mane and Sturridge need to really learn on their understanding and how they bring in. Moreno's trash as well. I think he's a classy brick. He's a classy brick, and I think because I told you Moses didn't play that well, and Moses was able to really give Moreno the runaround. But I think Moreno, just his positional sense is just poor. It's all over the place. The guy just does not have any true awareness of where he needs to be as a defender. So I mean, I think okay. Morata played all right in this game. Let's be real. Morata played all right in this game. He was not as bad as he normally is. But again, the thing with Morata right now, there are instances where pass the ball. He is too eager to prove he's not a brick. And I get that, but the team comes first. The team must always come first. Because there are times when, look, Morata, take some time, lay the ball off. Take some time, lay the ball off. We're not going to the second half, and I think in the second half, we definitely saw that Chelsea came out of the game and Liverpool really fully came into the game a lot more. And again, this is what I tweeted out. Now, this is what top strikers do. And this is what separates the Ridge from Lukaku and Morata. Because you see, the Ridge had a bad miss. Went around the keeper. Horrible mistake by Christensen. Christensen made two big mistakes, and he could have definitely been breaking the game. Went around the keeper. And he has yet to put it away. Don't tell me that it's on your weaker foot. Even if it's on your weaker foot, you should still put that away. But you see, if that was Lukaku or Morata, after that miss, that's it. Or they'll probably double up and I'll give you another miss. But what does the top striker do? That was bad. I'll make it good. So again, amazing play from Naby Keita, who, for me, I think this guy is a fantastic player, and I think he just needs to develop more, but I think the guy can definitely be a serious player this season. His shot is parried by Caballero, who was all right, and for me, that's a fantastic finish. You see, that is a striker's finish, because to have the reaction, reflex, and the execution just to instantly pop that off, that's quality. Because a lot of guys would mess up that execution. And again, does Harry Kane score a goal like that? Maybe he may try and volley, but in that kind of dynamic way, that's just what this guy can do. Because the Ridge, man, I feel that there is so much more to come from the Ridge. Because I think this guy, I believe, can do things that Firmino, Salah, Mane can't do. Because the guy is a born goal scorer that has technique. He's got a deft touch and a technique about it. So 1-0 up, Now, this is what really surprised me was when Hazard was brought on. Because when Hazard was brought on, I was like, do you need to bring him on? Because my thing was, look, man, it's a League Cup. There's the FA Cup, there's the Europa League, there's the League. It doesn't really need to be this. But then I remembered what Zola said. Chelsea are going in for all the competitions. So, just to see what guys are popping up in there. So when they came out, I was like, okay, wow, okay, Chelsea really want to win this game. This is very interesting, you know. And then obviously free kick comes in, and then boom, good hustle. And then when it got to 1-1, I was like, you know, this is anyone's. Maybe Chelsea are in the ascendancy with the equalizer and how they've come back, but I think Liverpool can definitely get back, because I think at this moment in time, you really saw how, you know, the game was much more equal. And this is another issue now. Henderson. Klopp has to figure out the Henderson problem, because it is a problem. Henderson is not that great a player. I'm sorry. And I know why he brings him on. He brings him on to add leadership and stability. You hear what I said? Why does he bring him on? To add leadership and stability when the match is getting a bit hectic. But two things. Henderson ain't that good, and he's a hothead. So you combine those two things in now, and what you have is a guy who was just very rash. And you can see that Henderson wanted to F up Hazard. And I just think that, you know, Liverpool have to sort out Henderson problem, because they have to go into the market. And either you develop Fabinho or you make Naby Keita do that job, but someone needs to do that job better. A guy in midfield who gives some composure into thinking, because obviously Liverpool need their Jorginho or their Fabregas, a guy who is dependable on the ball and is not swayed by the high tempo of the match. No matter what the match is, whether it's high tempo, you can give him the ball anywhere and he will keep possession of the ball. Just make sure that you can find him. He'll make sure that we can calm things down and make things happen. And just keep possession of the ball. Henderson can't do that. He's too much of a hothead, and he's technically not that adept at doing that. Hazard. Can I just take a bite? Let me have a tomato. These tomatoes are great, by the way. They're lovely. Let me take a little swig. Oh, fine wine. Eden Olusegun Obademi Hazard. I think this is the second or third time. No, it's the third time he's done this season. He's come on and he's somehow won the game for Chelsea, either via a goal or an assist. I might do a log of a vid by this, but let me just back up. Something happened to Hazard at the World Cup. Do you read the Bible? Yes, I'm going there. Do you read the Bible? There's something in the Bible called epiphany or revelations. And that is when something just clicks in you. It's a eureka moment where something is hidden in you. There is magic hidden in you, but you can't find it. But something happens, and that thing that's hidden in you just embellishes. And something happens to Hazard at the World Cup. I don't know what it was. Something happened to him at the World Cup where he was like, oh, okay. That's who I am. Because that goal that Hazard scored, is a tier 1 goal. See, a tier 2 player can't score that goal. He can't. A tier 3 player can't score that goal. A brick can't even dream of scoring that goal. See, that's a tier 1 goal. Because that goal is about, it's 1-1. We could still go to penalties, but you know what? Let me just put a full stop on this. Let me just put a period on things. Not things. We're using Ebonics now. Let me use some pidgin. Make una just correct them now, right now. They may come on, chukai. I go make and swear blood. Make una now come out for us. I did poo ball for nets. That's just a little bit of pidgin there. Just, because that goal from Hazard, the movements where he completely bamboozled Moreno, who was brick, and the finish, the niche, right in the corner. That is an individual who is playing football at a very high level. A very high level. Because what Hazard is right now is that you give him the ball, things happen. Things happen. And this Chelsea team ain't that great. So that's why I'm trying to explain to you people that this guy is literally carrying this team. Nobody on this Chelsea team is even close to his ability. How much better is Salah than Mane, really? How much better is De Bruyne how much better is De Bruyne than David Silva, really? How much better is Bale than Isco, really? Messi is better than Dembele. Is he better than Dembele by that much? He's considerably better than him, 100%. Is it by that much? Hazard is considerably better than the next best player at Chelsea, who may be probably Kovacic or Jorginho. That's what I'm trying to explain to you guys. See, just accept, because what's the criticism? Oh, it's the Carabao Cup. Oh, he's so inconsistent and everything. No, guys, I'm talking about right now. I'll be first. I said before I said Sanchez was better than Hazard. Listen to what I said. I said something happened to this dude at the World Cup. Even last season, I said no, something's up with Hazard. He's doing things differently that I didn't see from him seasons ago when I said Sanchez was better. But something happened to that guy at the World Cup where he figured out who he's supposed to be. He figured out, no, this is how it works. And once he figured out how it works, he's not tier 1. He's now locked in tier 1. That's about, can he become a chief Oga? That's it. So right now, it's between him and Messi as to who can now break into that chief Oga category. Although Messi is closer there, although like the Gunners, but that's separate. So I thought this was a fantastic game because the reason why I like this game is that it sets things up beautifully for the game against Liverpool, which I think will be a very different game. Because remember, yes, Chelsea won. Liverpool were without Van Dijk, without Gomez, without those two quality things of Robertson and Alexander-Arnold. They had Alisson in goal, and you say to yourself that, you know what, Alisson, maybe he doesn't parry that ball into the area of Emerson and so forth. So Liverpool missing a lot of guys, and a lot of Liverpool's strength is that's their first choice front three. I love Sturridge, but our first choice front three is the best front three in Europe. It is the most in tune front three in Europe. Maybe not the best man for man, but as far as a front three that works, is up. So let's just be real. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Chelsea, they won that game. And I think it was amazing because what's always good is, because remember, it's coming back from 1-0 down, winning 2-1. So technically, Klopp's chain was snatched. Technically, it was snatched. So he got robbed. I don't advocate for robbing, but Hazard walked to the street, stepped up to him, and he robbed Klopp in his crib, which is rude. You never rob a man in his crib. So I can't wait for the weekend. Saturday's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. Well, we might do a huge preview there, but I think what I was trying to explain to guys is that Hazard is the guy's a very serious player. But I just think overall, I think Fabregas, man, Fabregas has surprised me. Kovacic has definitely surprised me. Christensen, it's not it. Emerson, Moses, nah. For Liverpool, Storage needs to be given much more of a game. Storage needs to be more of a game. Moreno, nah. Fabinho, he definitely struggled. Milner did what he did. Henderson, I said again, sorry man, Henderson, he's not it. I'm sorry, Henderson is not it. Because again, when you're brought on as a substitute, you can't have a hothead. Because that's because he had a hot because based on Hazard was messing about. But beyond that, bro, you have to know how you have to be able to be composed, keep the ball, and be a dependable person that your teammates can rely on to give the ball to. You can't just be rushing, thing like that, hit a long ball. No, there has to be some professionalism and maturity by your player. I just don't think Henderson has that maturity by his play. So every time Klopp brings him on, why are you bringing on Henderson? Because two things. For a player like him, either you're bringing him on to be much more of an attacking threat, which that's not the case, or he's there to be a composing figure to then allow other guys to now attack. Do the anti-composing figure. He loses the ball too often, and he actually makes Liverpool panic even more because he's a very panicky player who does not take his time to be able to try and find that pass. So that's just really. But I can't wait for Saturday. Saturday is going to be cool. Because I want to see both of these sides at full strength and how they play. Because again, I think Liverpool will give Chelsea a lot of heartache. Well, for the defense, especially that first attack. But at the same time, I was very impressed by Chelsea's passing game. I think Chelsea's passing game was... I was just... In that first half, the way they were able to transition was great. But the issue remains, man. Morata ain't it, man. And Giroud ain't it as well. But Giroud is more effective. But no matter how well Chelsea move the ball, no matter how well they try and transition, Liverpool's attack is far more dangerous, has far more intense. Chelsea don't have a striker. The attack is where it breaks. Chelsea's attack, the very front of the attack, that's their weakest point. Whereas for Liverpool, that is their strongest point, although their defense also pretty strong. So yeah, in closing, will you or will you not accept Eden Hazard as top 3? So with that, I think it's obvious that dude for this was Eden Hazard, obviously. And break of the game, I was going to say Moses, I'm going to say Moreno. I was going to say Moreno. I think Moreno, nah. First of all, you don't bring anything attacking wise and defensively. It ain't. But look, shout out to the Ridge. I liked that jet. I told you, I'm a big fan of the Ridge. I like how they do the play, so I'm a huge fan of the Ridge. But in closing, tell me, will you now accept that Eden Hazard is top 3? Or does he have to do it yet again in another game? Thank you for watching this video. Think about pledging and become a Half of Football Hot patron. Pledge an amount each month and gain access to exclusive videos from your boy, the Football Hot, for more analysis. Peace.